From the moment Claire stepped inside the gleaming marble lobby of the Harbor View Hotel in Boston, she knew she didn't belong. At least not in the way the others did. Her thrift store blouse clung to her shoulders from the cold wind outside. Her worn canvas tote looked painfully out of place among polished suitcases, and the way the receptionist glanced at her made her feel even smaller. But nothing stung as sharply as the memory of why she was here. Standing in the middle of a world she couldn't afford, she had come looking for the only glimmer of hope she had left. A job interview that might change everything for her and her little brother. Her voice trembled as she clutched the strap of her bag tighter, fighting the fear rising in her chest, wondering if she had made a terrible mistake. And then, in the quietest, most vulnerable whisper, she approached the man who seemed so far out of her league and asked, "Am I allowed here? If you believe in kindness, second chances, and the moments that can change a life, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. It helps more people find these heart-touching stories." The man she spoke to looked up from the table where he was reviewing documents on a sleek laptop. His tailored charcoal suit, neatly styled hair, and calm confidence suggested he was used to moving through expensive spaces like this. Yet there was no judgment in his eyes, only curiosity, and then something even gentler when he truly saw her. His name was Nathan, a young millionaire entrepreneur who had quietly built several tech companies from the ground up. But Claire didn't know any of that. All she saw was a man who didn't look away, didn't mock her appearance, didn't treat her like she didn't belong. Instead, he closed his laptop softly, as if giving her his full attention mattered more than anything else. At that moment, Claire's day had begun with chaos. Her landlord reminding her of the overdue rent, her boss at the diner cutting her hours again, and her little brother, Evan, waking up with a cough she couldn't afford to have treated. She had rushed across town, praying the bus wouldn't break down again, praying her shoes wouldn't fall apart, praying that today, just today, life wouldn't kick her down. But when she stepped into the hotel, she felt her courage drain away. Everyone here looked polished, wealthy, confident. She felt invisible and painfully visible. At the same time, Nathan saw the fear in her eyes long before she realized she was showing it. He gestured to the seat across from him, and with a voice as steady as warm sunlight, he said something she never expected to hear. She belonged here. The words didn't erase her worries, but they cracked something open inside her, something she had buried beneath years of stress and survival. She sat down, unsure if she deserved the kindness, unsure if she should even accept it. As she explained why she was there, she kept her voice quiet, almost apologetic. She was applying for a position in the marketing department, an opportunity that could finally give her and Evan stability. She had taught herself design at night while working at the diner during the day, but she had no connections, no polished portfolio, no expensive degree. All she had were hope, desperation, and the weight of responsibility she never asked for. She didn't tell him everything, but somehow he understood more than she said. Nathan listened with a seriousness that surprised her. He had spent years building success, but he remembered his past clearly, sleeping in his car during the early days of his first startup, being dismissed by investors because he didn't look the part. He recognized the same quiet fight in Claire's eyes, the kind that made people endure when life gave them every reason to quit. When Claire was called upstairs for her interview, her hands shook. She walked away from Nathan with a small nod, never expecting to see him again. But her interview went nothing like she imagined. The hiring manager barely looked at her, his tone clipped, his questions laced with doubt. He stopped her halfway through her explanation of her experience, and with a dismissive gesture, he ended the interview early. "We're looking for someone more aligned with the company's image," he had said, eyes lingering on her worn shoes. By the time she stepped back into the lobby, tears stung her eyes. She hurried toward the exit, praying no one would notice. But one person did. Nathan was already standing, concern written across his face. Without thinking, she tried to escape the moment, but he gently stopped her. She finally broke, confessing in a trembling voice that she had been rejected before even being given a chance, that she was tired of being told she didn't fit in, that she had a child depending on her, that she felt like she was failing at everything. Nathan didn't offer empty sympathy. Instead, he asked her to sit again. The lobby buzzed around them, guests checking in, phones ringing, footsteps echoing. But in the small bubble between them, the world went silent. He asked to see her designs, and with hesitant fingers, she pulled out her old scratch tablet. But the second he began scrolling, she saw something change in him. His expression sharpened, not with pity, but with impressed disbelief. Her work was strong, clean, emotional, impactful. She had taught herself well, better than well. Then with the kind of calm confidence only people who make big decisions effortlessly have, Nathan made one right there. He offered her a job, his company, not the one that rejected her. A real position, a real salary, a real chance. At first she refused, thinking he was just being kind. But he assured her that her talent was exceptional, that she wasn't receiving charity, she was being recognized. Claire could barely speak through her tears as the weight she carried slowly lifted. Piece by piece, word by word, a stranger had seen her. Really seen her. Not for her clothes or her past or her struggles, but for her potential. Months later, after steady paychecks, a new apartment, and Evan finally getting the care he needed, Claire stood on the rooftop of Nathan's company building during a staff event, watching the Boston skyline glow. She felt like a completely different person, stronger, brighter, no longer drowning. Nathan walked over, smiling at her in the same warm way he had the first day. She thanked him again, though he always told her she earned her place through her own hard work. But she knew the truth. Sometimes a single moment of kindness can change an entire life. If this story touched your heart, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Your support keeps these emotional stories alive. Special request, comment below with "I believe kindness matters." And with that, Claire realized something she had never believed before. Sometimes the world gives you one unexpected moment that becomes the start of everything beautiful.